What do we think about youth, children, who parents are in jail or incarcerated? I mean, what do we think?
I think a lot of times we don't actually think about the children of the parents that are incarcerated. And if we do think about the parents, I don't think that we think about what they're feeling or thinking at the time.
If we look at the national incarceration rate, we know that the United States incarcerates more people per capita than any other country in the world, industrialized or non-industrialized. And currently, we have estimates that 1 out of every 31 individuals are under some kind of correctional supervision, either in prison, jail, or under community corrections. One thing to remember is that this is something that people don't often talk about. There's a lot of stigma on this issue. So you might be working with a family who is experiencing this issue, and if you don't ask the question in a sensitive manner, you might not find that out.
The biggest impact that it's had on me is I didn't have a father there, and he's been probably one of the people in my life that should have been one of the most important, but has the least effect on me because he wasn't there and he's kind of a stranger, and I wish that that wasn't so because I would have been a little more stable with my father around.
Children respond very positively when they know that someone is there for them. It's that that kind of, be the cheerleader, be the person that understands the situation and then says, well, how are we going to make the best of this? I have a good friend that's a teacher, and she told me the story of talking with to a child in her class that was in a fairly terrible situation. And I think my response would have been sort of oh, that's just terrible. How are you dealing with this? And yet this teacher said, boy, you're really very good at getting yourself to school and dealing with the challenges in your life. And I think taking that kind of positive approach of, as one of the kids said, a message of hope. You're going to get through this. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do together what we can to make this come out okay for you and for the future of your life, and to the extent to which we can, for your parent.
So we're going to start with some national data we have about this particular slide. It looks at how many kids do not have time visiting with their parent if they are incarcerated. That the most frequent form of contact is through the mail. The second slide is also based on national data, and it looks at the specific contact between the incarcerated parent and their children. And what we see that stands out is that most kids in foster care do not get visits with their parents who are incarcerated.
Considering the situation you were in, what was the most helpful to you?
When I was able to visit her.
Visit her, okay.
Visiting her was the thing that helped me the most.
Okay. What was that like the first time you saw your mom?
The first time I saw my mom, no words can explain it. It was a joyful time that I was actually seeing her for the first time in a long time. There are no words that can explain the first visit.
One of the things I would probably say to the system and, everybody involved with the system and involved with interacting with children with incarcerated parents is don't make them feel like just because their parents are incarcerated that it's their fault or that they're going down the same path, because that was part of what happened to me, and I was also incarcerated, and I was pretty much just at my lowest point at that point. I was probably about 7-8 years ago, because I was like, well, great, I'm in jail, my dad's in jail, who knows where my mom is? Everybody's like, well, you're just pretty much not going anywhere. And you kind of have to keep them a little positive, because it gets difficult when you have such a trauma-filled life to really live it positively in the way that you want it when you have so many people that are always negative.
When did you start experiencing hope?
When I see my kids the first time.
What was it like for you to see her?
It was neat. She gave me the hope because she told me that it was going to be okay.
For me, it came when a community service provider in our community, she came in and the guards told her, "Why are you wasting your time on Kimberly May? She's hopeless. She's been in and out here so many times. You're wasting your time." And she didn't give up on me, and she stayed connected with me when I got out and helped me believe in myself.
What would you tell other children, other youth who are in the same boat as you were?
Everything will be okay in the end. That even though things are bad right now and that things may get worse, it'll get better. It always gets worse before it gets great, so
It's darkest before the dawn.
Darkest before the dawn.